not only where the harm is escalating, but the human will to turn things around and to care for each other and to care for the earth. It's like an awakening. It's like the Great Turning. And I think my life at the moment is trying to work out how I can magnify the good. And sometimes that's by calling out the harm and having a magnifying glass on some of what we humans are doing, like the mangroves, like the mining, like the water. But it's also about walking around in periods of drought and finding those ferns in a nook of a rock, which is strong and resilient and will flourish, and putting some of our hearts and minds to how we can be healing each other and healing the earth. I feel that's the challenge. It's a time for partnership between people and industry and governments. People in industry are doing their bit. South Australia is doing amazing stuff with renewables, but governments are still lagging behind, particularly our federal government. So this is not the end of the action, this is the beginning of sacred people, sacred earth. Sacred people first because of the pandemic and the human fear and illness around. And sacred earth because in the background, behind the human concentration on ourselves, Mother Earth is suffering and billions of living creatures are suffering as climate change escalates. So from here I think we move on to supporting each other and moving towards getting a shift in our nationally determined contribution so we can be proudly represented at COP26 in Scotland at the end of the year. So we'll be holding another of these in November. But watch out for other things we can do to support and magnify the good as we go forward. So thank you so much for coming out. I can't tell you, I hope you could hear the bells ringing from different parts of town while you were sitting, because St John's, the Evangelist of Halifax Street, the Catholic Cathedral on Wakefield Street, Pilgrim Church on Flinders Street, and then just as we left the cathedral for Commonwealth Day, which acknowledged climate change, with the governor present, Dean Frank Nelson tolled the bell, a single bell, as he did for Earth Overshoot Day last year, and that gives me a lot of hope and courage. So onwards we go. Thank you.